Hello Flosstube, my name is Deb. I'm the Traveling Stocking Stitcher. Great to have you here today because this is my 2023 Finnish parade. So I've called it, what the Hel-Sinki, a Finnish parade? Well, no, it's a Finnish parade, not with two ends, but with one end. Never been to Finland. I hear it's one of the happiest countries in the world. They consistently rate high on that. I will have some Finland fun facts because I usually put fun facts in and I couldn't think of anything else to put in for fun facts about finishes. You know, I like to have some sort of prop that coincides with the topic, and this is as close as I could find in my wardrobe, a blue and white striped shirt. Their flag has the blue and white cross on it, so I'm halfway there. It's also my second year floss anniversary. I've been doing this for 2 years already, can hardly believe it. So thanks everybody that's joined me along the way. So what I want to show you is what I've been working on for the last year. And I've got about 32 projects total that I have worked on in the past year. I'm just going to focus on the finishes today, and of those I have 19 total, 17 fully finished, and then 2 that are just finished objects. And I have a good excuse for, well, probably both of them for not having finished those yet. So we'll show you when we get around to those. I have about 11 whips with a few more probably coming soon after that. I'll do a separate whip parade video to show you those. And but today I'll show you the things I've actively been working on, at least in the past since the last video that I showed you. So let's get started with what I've been doing for the last 12 months. First up, I did Blue Hawaiian Garden. This is by the Bay Needleart. This is on a 14 count gray fabric. And the upper design is the by the Bay Needleart Blue Hawaiian Garden. And then I added a couple of turtles on here on either side. Those are mini turtles from EasyXStitchPatterns. And then I found the lettering and just did that with the same colors to match as up above. So I did a Hawaiian themed video, and this is one of the ones that I did and featured in that. So I always like to, places I've traveled to, I like to do episodes of that. That was done on 14 count gray. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Next one up is Hawaii Vintage Travel Poster. And this one is from crossstitchtheworld.com. It's on a 16 count blue, Santorini blue from Tom and Lily Creations. And so I didn't stitch a lot of the blue, I just let the background speak to it. Get up close here and you can see details on that. And all these I like to fit in to make them a travel poster, so I fit them all in 11 by 17 poster frame. Is how I've organized my travel posters. Next we move on to Ireland. I did a this is called Guinness Two. There's another Guinness poster that I had done the year previously. This one's called Lovely Day for Guinness, and it is also from crossstitchtheworld.com. And this was on an 18 count that I did. And in this guy, I think, I recall I added in, I think it was this one here. There was only 4 of those guys, and I added a 5th one to even it out. So that is the Lovely Day for Guinness. Almost there. And next, also in the Ireland theme, this is a combination of 2 different designs that I did. So first of all, I did Ireland map is from Peppermint Purple. It's a black work. And I used green Sulky, the 12 weight, what's the name of it? It's classic green Sulky, 12 weight Petites for the actual map, the black work design in there. And I used anchor black for the perimeter, the outline of it. And then the places that we visited, I wrote along the side here, and a little hard to see there, but I put little gold beads that correspond to the places that we visited on the map. Then I added a little shamrock here that I found. And then on the bottom, this was from a kit from Derwentwater Designs, and it's called Poppyfield Lane. And even though it's supposed to be a British town, English town, we saw a lot of thatch roofed houses in Ireland, in stone churches, and look very much like that. So I put those two together to make a travel poster. And we have one more Ireland poster, or Ireland travel poster that I worked on this year, or last year. And the initial design is, let me see if I can trace this, is right along here. It's called Ireland Sampler. And so the inside of there was the design from Kathy Burlew. This came out of I bought it on eBay. It was from a magazine that wasn't identified. It was actually cut out of the magazine, but I really liked the design. So did that. The only thing I changed up is I did this kind of cable sweater here. I did that in Pearl Cotton 5. Same thing with the little sheep over here. I used Pearl Cotton 5 on those as well. And did kind of a thatch roof satin stitch on the roof of the house. And then the outside of here, I kind of designed myself the outline of the Celtic knots to just fill out the space, make it big enough to fit in the 11 by 14 size frame. And then the lettering down below, I found it's called Celtic Alphabet, and this is from Cross Stitch Kits Alla from an Etsy shop. And it's on 36 count Winter Moon Edinburgh linen from Zweigert, and it's 2/2. Okay. Now, next place where we're going to go on our little visit here is to Spain. So I did Moroccan lanterns. This is just a beautiful design. I really love this. The lanterns seem to just glow. This is my FFO, or excuse me, my FO, my finished object. And what I did since the last time you've seen it, I did add the word Granada at the bottom. That's not part of the original design, but again, I'm making it into 11 by 17, or excuse me, 11 by 14 poster, and that just fills it out a little bit. I'll get real close because it's so pretty. I've seen a lot of people stitching this on Instagram, and glad to see that that's getting a little more traction. The reason I did not finish this, I said I had a good reason, is I'm going to the Queen City Stitch Retreat. Never been to a retreat before, but this is the one that Fiber Arts Amy and Kitschy Whips put on, and it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's in October, and so I thought I would take this one along for the brag table, because this has gotten a lot of good response on this on Instagram. And what else was I going to say about this? It's from the Bibsters. It's on 25 count granite 1/1, and I just don't want to frame it because I don't want to have to pack a frame and carry that along on the airplane. And next up, we may as well do the other finished objects. The reason this isn't finished is I don't quite know how I'm going to do it. I've got a series of these patterns, and I've done a couple, but I've got more planned, and I just don't, until I get a better idea of how I'm going to use them, I'm going to hold off framing these. But this is called Seville, and I'll put up the original design because I did quite a bit of modification on this. It's from Awesome Pattern Studio. They have a number of these, a lot, I mean like hundreds of these different cities. So there's a lot of elements from the town of Seville in Spain that they had in here, and I added a few more, like the cathedral, the big window of the cathedral, and a couple of these towers over here, and what else, a couple of these Plaza de España towers, and this over here, a little gate. The video I covered this in has all the details of what I did differently, but you can see the difference of what it looked like from the design and what I've changed and modified to make it mine. So, and another one in Spain. I found this at the bottom of my pile after I finished, so camera angle might be off a little bit after I put everything away. I realized I still had this one yet to show, and So this one is also from the Vivsters. This is called Arabian Nights, and it reminded me of the Alhambra. So I put the wording down here in kind of an Arabic looking script, and there it is. Beautiful looking version from the Alhambra. This is on, I think it's 18 count dirty, Aida. And next up we have, this is called Portuguese Orange Tree Tiles from the Vivsters, and I thought it looked a lot like the tiles that you see in Seville, and so I put the word Sevilla in here and made it into a travel poster as well. The colors she does, the Vivsters just does so much with, you know, a handful of colors, and it's just so bold. The shading she does, and I just am a real big fan of her artwork. I always bought a bunch of stuff from her. Now I just have to stitch it all. And after that, we're going to go to Amsterdam. This is called Dutch Village Monochrome. It's from EasyXStitchPatterns from Etsy. And this is it here. Back up a little bit. And I charted the letters myself. I wanted them stacked like that, like the houses are kind of stacked up. And couldn't find anything that were exactly square, same size, so. And I did a little bit different stuff on here in terms of, there were a lot of, I'll put up a picture of what the original design looks like as well, but there were a lot of balconies and stuff like that, and I ended up making all the frames around all the windows white instead of, they had a gray outline, and I thought the white was more representative of Amsterdam, and then just did a lot of the cross mullions in the windows. I used B52 Sulky, or no, not B5200, bright white Sulky for that, and that worked out really well. It's on 18 count Aida, white Aida. I don't think I mentioned that. The next thing I have is a series of, I won't pop each one of these in here, but I'll show you the current one I have in here. I found this fantastic bird foot frame at a thrift store. And so I thought I'm going to do a bunch of the Lindy stitches. She has a lot of bird things. So I'm going to swap these out. And this one is a change in latitude would change my attitude. It's the current one I have in here now because we're going through this deep freeze cold spell that we've got going on here in Minnesota. And so this is true. A change in latitude would change my attitude. And then I'm going to swap these out. Next one I have that I have done is, oh, and this is on Celestina 18 count. I've got a few that are in that. Then I also did December Dance from Lindy Stitches. That will also fit in that frame. And this is from Da Vinci, an 18 count is the fabric on this. And we have Beach Dance, also from Lindy Stitches. The dancing blue-footed boobies. That will go into the frame in the summertime. Then we've got her seagulls. This is from Saltwater, what's it called? Saltwater Scrapbook Part 1 Designs. And I've got all kinds of little things on here. Alright, be kind to your web-footed friends. Got all the seagulls in there. Unfortunately, I didn't give myself enough play in the fabric here, and it's not exactly centered up as well as I would like it to be. But that one's also on Celestina. Then we've got the Pirate, also from Saltwater Scrapbook Part 1, And I put a little saying on there to fill it out. So when is Squawk Like a Pirate's Parrot Day? That'll go in there in September to celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day. And then the one I have for Thanksgiving is Strutting Tom, also from Lindy Stitches. And I put 3 words to live by: happy, thanks, and giving. He's a cute little guy. This is probably 18 count Fiddler's Oatmeal. Sure. So those guys all go in that bird frame. And next up are kind of hot off the press. These are real recent ones that I've done. This is Virginia Opossum. Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. The reason behind that is the possum species in the U.S. and Mexico, or North America, actually U.S. and Canada, is the Virginia possum exclusively. So that gave me my Christmas tie-in. So I called her Virginia Opossum, and this is the Lindy Stitches possum. She was just so cute that I had to put her in here. She's holding a balloon normally, but I took that out and aligned the line of sight. So she's looking up at Santa with this wonder in her eyes. I just love her expression. And the Santa and his sleigh, I used, it's called, what is it called? Oh, here it is. Owl Stitching House on Etsy is the name of this shop. And this is, they had a number of names for it, like Santa in the City, and just look for Owl Stitching House and you'd find it. And normally there's a bunch of village underneath here that I think I'm going to use on a different design. But I needed something that was going to fit across here and that she could look up at and do that. And then the lettering came from Florine Studio, and that's also on Etsy. So backing is plaid backing. And then I had a bunch of Charlie Harper artwork that this one's called Gift Wrapped, and it's a bunch of raccoons looking at the window at the presents, looking inside, looking at all its presents. And I added Trashing Through the Snow in musical lettering there. And then I used the play on words. His title is called Gift Wrapped, and so I called them Gift Wrapped Scallions, little raccoons. And then I created a little raccoon over on the side based on another one of his pieces of artwork that he has done. So I'll put a little package in front of him. So that is from Harper and Stitches is the charting for that. And I found some fabric that actually used the same thing, the gift wrapped, just with a different background color. There. And another Charlie Harper one that I have finished is, it just is too, the design is just, it's called Cardinals in Flight. And I saw this done up as a needlepoint with the 3 aligned birds and decided to create that. I charted out the holly and berries and stuff to hang out of this guy's mouth down here. And I called them Christmas cards, cardinals. And found some more fabric from Charlie Harper. Fabric on the last one was from Drewy Pie Fabrics on Etsy, and this one is from Maggie Ann Etsy shop. No, the other way around. The other one was from Maggie Ann. This one is from Drewy Pie Fabrics. That is everything I worked on. That's all the finished stuff. Promised you some finished fun facts, so here we go. The highest consumption of milk in the world, about a whopping 1 liter per day, is in Finland. And oddly enough, 17% of Finns are lactose intolerant. Now they also have the highest consumption of coffee in the world, or second highest. I heard 2 different reports, but I'm guessing that you know, they probably also have the highest number of bathroom trips based on those two fun facts, because if you're drinking that much milk and that much coffee. They have the highest heavy metal bands per capita, more than 50 for every 100,000 inhabitants. Probably pretty loud in Finland. It's the first country in the world to give full political rights to women. This was in 1906, which was 14 years before the U.S. Now it got me wondering, you know, about the U.S., and it turned out that 20 U.S. states or territories granted women the right to vote between 1869, which was in the territory of Wyoming, and the ratification of the 19th Amendment in 1920. So some women had some sort of voting rights in some states prior to that, which I guess I was not aware of before. So that was a little side trip. And more Finnish facts. There are more saunas than cars in Finland. There are 2 million saunas for a population of 5.5 million people. They like their saunas. And they are also the best performing country in Olympic history in terms of medals and gold medals won per capita. So, interesting news. So, those are my Finnish fun facts. I'll get on to what whips I've been working on. This one is Anchor. It's an Amsterdam street scene. And things were going fine on this one, and I did, you know, most of the middle part here. And then I got down and I did about half of the detail down here, the tulips in the front, and then the reflection in the water. And I thought, I don't need to check this off or anything. It was paper copy. I didn't have it in pattern keeper. And there's a bunch of, it's in 16 count. There was a lot of half stitches. And after the fact, I realized I needed to get caught up here and print it off and do some checking off of things. And it was much more complicated than I thought. But I finally dug it out the other day, started working on it, and I thought all I had to do was the bottom part here. So, got to work on that and took some effort, but I finally got all the tulips and the reflection finished down here. So there it is. And like I said, the buildings are all complete, all backstitched and everything. And then I got up top here and I realized that I had not done a bunch of the tent stitching up in here in the sky. And it's horrible. It's hard to tell where I've been and where I haven't been because it's, you know, like light blue or gray or whitish on blue. It's really hard to see, and they're just tent stitches, so it's going to take me a while. I didn't, again, cross this off, so I'm going to have to go back and print it out and mark what I've done and mark what I haven't done and figure out, because there's still places that are blank too. It's not all filled in, so it's hard to tell, did I just not finish that, or is it really supposed to be blank? So. But I'm going to try to get this, keep at this, and get this done so I can get that finished up. And next up, this was one I've been working on. I started working on this one, might even have been 2022. I don't think it was 2023 that I started working on this. But I'm kind of on the fence. I kept thinking about it. It's a full coverage. It's from Mystic Stitch, which are no longer in business anymore. And it's capri. I'll put a picture of what it looks like. And then this is what I've got done so far. And part of it is, I'm not a huge full coverage person, either doing them or, part of my problem, I think, is I did this on 14 count, again, to fit it into a 11 by 14 frame. And I think it's just a little coarse in the pixelation. But it's okay. I mean, there's just a lot of solid blue, which is okay, and a moderate amount of confetti. It was a tolerable amount of confetti because it's just the rocks that really are the heavy confetti part. And then what I'm thinking down on the bottom, I was hoping to get away with just putting the name here and not have to stitch. This is essentially all white around here. That would finish the flowers and the buildings here. And then see if I can just get away with putting the name Capri on here. But I don't know if it's going to look odd to have all this empty white space on there. So we'll see. It just takes so long to do. I get so frustrated or discouraged and think, I'm not making progress. It takes forever to fill this up. and I could be doing other stuff. And I don't know how people do these huge, huge, thousands of stitches things, and I just feel like I'm getting nothing else done. So it's been a little bit frustrating, but I just want to keep plugging away at it. What I'm going to try to do is do a little bit of one thing in the morning and then switch to another one in the afternoon, and then in the evening I'll focus on something else. I've got a newer finish, or not a finish, excuse me, a newer whip that I started. Oops, what's this needle? Loose needle from somewhere. This is, I didn't bring the picture of it, I'll put the picture up here. This is a Mirabilia, and this is White Christmas. And I've been looking at this one for a long while, thinking that this would adapt into a Christmas stocking. Well, because kind of the flow of the dress sweeps off to the side. It's not going to really cover the toe too much, but I just thought she would she's long and narrow like a Christmas stocking. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it on pistachio. I believe it's a 36 count or 30. Yeah, probably 36 count pistachio. I was a little surprised. It's not showing up as bright a pink as it shows up to me. The bubblegum pink in the dress is a little disconcerting for a Christmas theme. And there's a lot of it. I mean, I'm not done with the pink. There's a bunch more to go. So, yeah, we'll see. But that's how that's going. And then the last one I have, you've seen this before. Let me find something to put behind here that's big enough, because this thing's huge now. I might not even have something big enough. This is my chatelaine. This is Venice Mandala. And here it is. You can start to see the shape, the rounding shape take place. And I changed up what I was doing originally. I was going to just do each element. You start in the middle. Whoops, it's too big. Sorry. I start in the middle, and then there's an outside perimeter, and then there's another outside perimeter, and then you start doing the corners, and then you start doing up here in the corners and the masks and stuff and the windows. And I was going to do each element separately. And then I just decided to just do this whole top up here and then this whole side over here. So, let me show you, just get close up here. So I've got the Rialto bridge done there. And I've got some Venetian, or this way I think. Yep, the Venetian masks and Venetian glass mirror. Get the string out of here. It's all backstitched. I haven't done the beading yet, of course. And I've tried now to do most of the specialty stitches as I go along. That wasn't always the case at the beginning. So there are some holes in places. And my second Rialto bridge. And I thought it was going to get pretty tedious doing the same thing 4 times, because I got to do that bridge 4 times. And it's been interesting because, these things, I managed to get them in Pattern Keeper. I don't know if you always can do that successfully. Some patterns, some of the chatelaine patterns might be more amenable to it than others. And I got most of this in there in sections. So, and what I did was able to turn off the auto rotate on my phone that I usually stitch off of, and so I could turn it a quarter turn, because mentally I didn't think I could stitch this in my head, because they just show you the one direction. You're supposed to stitch it so that everything is going in the same direction. So on this side here that I'm working on right now, I'm actually stitching this vertically, as opposed to this bridge up here, which I stitched more horizontally. So it almost feels like a totally different design, which is good because it's going to keep it fresh for me. But I just thought that was kind of interesting how that's going along. I'm not tired of it. It's going well. And yeah, I'm having a great time. So, like I said, I'm going to try to put this into a round frame. You can see the rounding effect starting to come in here as I get the corners done. Oops, why won't that? There we go. Just beautiful, these designs. They're just beautiful. And that takes care of all my whips. I do have a couple of thank yous that I want to do, or thank yous and recommendations for floss tubes. And so first of all, Angela. Angela loves to stitch. Go check Angela out. She's turning into quite the stocking stitcher. And she mentioned me in her last video before, and now this most recent video that she put out, number 63, she gave me another mention because she's working on her Marbeck Angel Serendipity Designs. It's the Serenade Angel that I had done. She saw my video and has started to work on that as well. So it's looking great. Keep up the good work, Angela. And so I wanted to thank you. Whenever people mention me in the channel, I like to put their video in my shout out playlist at the end. So when you get to the end of my video, you'll see a little thumbnail there you can click on and go see all the people that have been nice enough to me to mention me. And then a couple of floss tube recommendations. Like I mentioned, I'm going to go to the Queen City Stitch Retreat, and we've been sharing people's floss tubes and Instagram feeds and things like that. And so I found a couple of people off that I had not seen before. First one is a new floss tuber. She's just got her first video up in the past week or so. And she's Kylene, K-Y-L-E-E-N, but her channel name is CCL Stitches. And I just really enjoyed her. She's doing probably a lot of mirrors, mirabilias, and but just very, very pretty, and I thought she was entertaining and fun to watch. So give her a little nudge on her video views. And then another one that I liked was Owl and Gator Stitcher. She's got about 64 videos out there, and she's just on the bubble on that 1,000 subscriber mark. She's got 990 subs, so we can get 10 more people to subscribe for her. She's also going to go to Queen City, and I just really liked a lot of things that she worked on. She has like a good variety, colorful things, a real mix of stuff, and so I thought she was entertaining to watch as well. So that's what I've got for the day today. Thank you so much for coming and spending time with me and looking at the things I've done in the last year. Like I said, I'll have a whip parade coming up eventually too, to show you the things that I've worked on but not as successfully as these. Always happy to hear your comments. Would appreciate if you want to drop me a line. If you want to like the video, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to subscribe, even better. Share, whatever. Do all the things. But thank you all for being here with me today. I appreciate you. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm just traveling_stocking_stitcher there. Here on YouTube, I'm the Traveling Stocking Stitcher, and one L on both of them. And good to see you again, and we'll hope to see you next time. Thanks. Bye.